I've seen Zach ride around town on E for like 2 weeks. And he said, I ain't never seen that in my life.
And he said, I know my car.
That's facts.
I said, bro, your gaslight been, you got 2 gaslights on.
Yo, welcome to the first ever episode of Save It for the Pod, a podcast that has been in the works for years and finally has come to fruition. It's your boy Zach, the Zach Mamba. We got my boy Grizz, aka Brandon, my boy Phil,
aka Phil.
Yeah, aka Phil, but we're gonna get into some nicknames later. We got my boy Lukey. And then we got my boy AJ, who's going to be like the moderator, make sure we on track, make sure we stick into the topics, all that. And as a group of friends, which we are, we like to argue a lot. So AJ going to make sure we're not getting out of hand and whatnot. But how y'all boys feeling? How y'all boys feeling about the first episode that is finally happening?
Yeah, I'm glad that we're finally doing this shit, bro, after so long. It's like we waited for this moment. It took a while to get the equipment and shit, but now we're finally doing it.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited, man. You know, it's gonna be awesome.
This is very exciting. It's official or business, and I like
sounds
this.
like we're all pretty excited.
Everybody said it.
I'm super excited.
Definitely
We all got
super
stupid
excited.
smiles on our faces.
Like I said, in the works for years. So this goes back to about what, 2015, 2014?
Oh, earlier than that, like 2013, I think.
Maybe 2013. It was when we were living in Bike Club for sure, which we're all from South Florida. I mean, I'm sure y'all don't know the areas, but all that matters is I remember bringing it up to the group. I remember I was standing up, everyone else was playing Xbox, and I'm like, yo, we should start a podcast. Crickets. Nobody said anything, not a fucking word, and I was like, maybe. So that's one thing about me, and we'll kind of get into this. But my voice isn't the loudest, and they always joke on me saying that.
This is the loudest he's ever spoken in his life.
Exactly. But my feelings were definitely hurt that nobody wanted to start a podcast at that time. Does anyone else remember this when I brought it up?
I remember saying I was down, but I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do it or what. But
I was like, yeah, we're surviving off bread and taco sauce. Like,
and no one ever really took it seriously.
That's true. And at the time, honestly, podcasts were kind of just starting up. They weren't as big as what they are now. We're definitely late to the game, but as cliche and corny as it may sound, better late than never. But then it got brought up a few years later by Luke. Do you remember what year that was when you brought it up?
No, it was before I went to Kentucky. Before I moved.
No, I think it was when you were in Kentucky.
Oh, was it?
Then I brought it up before he moved, and I said we could just do it over Zoom because you were in Ohio also. At that time.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, so maybe it was then. It was you then, AJ.
So
probably like 2015-ish.
I'd have been 16.
No, I think because I was in Ohio. I think you were in Kentucky at the time. At the time. So what time did you go to Kentucky?
2018.
Okay, 2018. So
no, actually no, it was before then. The one I brought it up before then because you were the only one that was gone.
Yeah.
And so we could just call you in. But I mean, it's
maybe you were living at PSL or something at the time. I don't know.
It is what it is, and we here now. And but wait, before we get started though, I just want to make a correction.
Oh no,
they're from South Florida.
Oh yeah,
I'm from Chicago.
No, but he's South Florida now.
Yeah, he's honorary Jamaican and Floridian.
I'm honorary Haitian too. Shout out to my
He changes where he wants to be from every day.
Yeah.
And this is something else we'll get into, but kind of staying on this topic, then who's the one that Luke brought it? Well, so Tatiana, which is my fiance, she brought it up recently, and then like maybe a week later, Luke was like, hey, we should revisit this podcast idea. And all of us being back in South Florida, it only made sense for us to do this. But of course, there were some things that we had to do before we actually, so we had, like Luke said, we had to get the equipment, like the intro music, which hopefully is on the beginning of this episode. We have the music, but Brandon should be able to get it on there with doing the video editing. And we still waiting on the artwork for the podcast. But we finally here, November 7th, 2020, as shitty of a year as this has been.
End of the Trump era, though.
Yes. Breaking news. I mean, y'all already know at this point, but it looks like Biden will be winning the 2020 election. So for all of us, it's great. If you're a listener and don't like it, then I'm sorry, but it is what it is. But y'all want to go into introductions of actual individuals? I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking, so somebody else could take it. Phil, you being the most, I don't even know the word.
Outgoing. Outspoken.
Eccentric. Yeah, there's a lot. So Phil, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Phil from Chicago. Like they said, I'm most outspoken. I don't hold back. I'm raw. It is what it is. I say what I say. No filters. So get used to it, and that's pretty much it.
Get used to it.
If we ever get canceled on this podcast,
it'll probably be because of me.
It is 100% because of Phil.
Yeah, I just want to point out the views of Phil are not the views of the rest of us, right? His opinions are not our opinions at all. So if I'm hired by somebody listening and he says something, I do not agree with him.
Listen, I share my own views, and I take full responsibility for anything that I say.
As long as our listeners
know
that.
We're going to put that as like legit.
I take full responsibility.
Listen, disclaimer.
Y'all gotta let me finish.
In the beginning,
at the end of each podcast.
Yeah. At the beginning, the first thing they need to see is that.
Is that true?
All right, let the man finish.
They might not make it there.
I take full responsibility for anything that I say, and if it offends you, I don't know what to tell you. My bad.
He's about to say you or something.
Yeah, you was definitely about to say something problematic.
I was gonna say your fault, but that's not politically correct. So my bad. I don't mean to offend you, but it is what it is.
So that's all you got to say about Phil.
I mean, that's all you need to
know. It is what it is.
They'll find out. But for everybody, my name is Luke. I went to FAU, like we all met at FAU in 2012 when Phil and I got there. Zach and AJ were already there, and Brandon was just getting there too. But we met through campus recreation. So that's kind of what brought us together, sports. We all played basketball or football in high school, and then try to continue that when we got to college. So that's kind of how we became friends, from my recollection, and I got a terrible memory. So if I'm butchering this, somebody's gonna cut in and correct me. But Zach, AJ, and Phil were trying to move in together, trying to find a 3-bedroom spot in Boca Raton, and I think Phil had just gone back to Chicago, and he decided he might not be coming back. It was kind of like he was unsure whether he was coming back or not, and I got wind of that. And I was like, all right, let me jump in.
Nah, you jumped in way before.
Was it?
We started looking at 4-bedroom spots, me and Zach, when you guys were back home for summer.
Okay. Then, so I already told you my memory is terrible.
And then classic Phil fashion.
Yeah. Phil decided he might not be coming back to Florida. He might be staying in Chicago.
Let me give y'all the backstory. I spent a year in grad school, and I went home, and I was ready to drop out.
So Phil used to be all of our boss.
Yeah.
He was GA.
I was the grad assistant.
The most immature one in the group used to be all of our boss.
He would be on World Star during office hours.
I'm definitely not immature, but anywho. Point being, I went back home, and I was going to drop out of my grad program because I just didn't like it at the point. But when I was at home, I ended up getting kicked out of my house, and my mom pulled a knife on me. So because I got kicked out of my house and I almost got a girl pregnant, which I later find out about, I can't decide to come back to school.
That time when Phil thought he got a girl pregnant was a serious ass moment. And
so he didn't think he was coming back.
Yeah.
And so me, Zach, and AJ decided.
You found out when you were back there, or you found out when you were here?
I found out when I came back.
Yeah, you were here when you found that out.
Yeah. But I came back because I got kicked out from home. So I was like, there's no way I'm staying home under this duress because I was stressed out.
And we had
all signed a lease. Me, Zach, and Luke signed a lease. Move in. We get our everything situated. How we're gonna do groceries. How we're gonna do cleaning up. How everything's gonna go.
Exactly.
If it's like, hey y'all, I'm coming back, boys.
Bill, the ultimate finesser.
And I'm gonna just sleep on the couch until I find somewhere to be.
Phil, how many couches have you lived on since living in it? Well, first of all, how many years have you lived in South Florida?
That has to be my 6th or 7th.
So to give the story, he ended up staying on our couch for that whole year.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I was gonna find a place to live, but then after like a month of living on the couch,
it was comfortable.
We kind of like this. I kind of like this. I don't have to pay for nothing.
No, it wasn't even that. It was I was living with my homeboys, and I just didn't think I would find a better living situation. Like I don't care where I live.
There ain't nothing
He's
better
trying
than
to make it cute now.
but there ain't nothing better than living free. So that's true. He's not gonna find a better living.
And with your homeboys.
Exactly. So at that point, we didn't end up like we didn't ask him for nothing. Like we were just like, okay, fine. He needs a spot,
Out of the kindness of our
right?
hearts.
All of us got big hearts, and so
Luke was trying to charge Phil high key.
I was trying to charge
How
him.
much you gonna charge? I was like, bro,
After
this
a
is not
while.
charge.
I would after like 6 months, I was
Yeah.
like,
Originally, you said let's
You
charge
think
him.
so?
I'm like, nah, just let's help him out and help him figure this out.
I also volunteered to pay utilities.
that's
Because-
what I
You didn't-
think. That's
you
what
didn't
I think.
volunteer.
No, I said no.
You
I
said this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I
That's
think
not
we,
true.
We sat him down because of me, I think, and said, okay,
Yeah.
he should pay at least
Right,
utilities.
you
No,
You-
I also said I would pay utilities because my thinking was if I sleep on a couch, y'all not paying more for rent. The rent doesn't go up with me sleeping in the space, but the utilities go up, so I'm willing to pay
Yeah,
my
but
for
for
sure.
less space.
I understand
But
that,
what-
but in the context of bills, your rent doesn't change when someone else moves on
Yeah,
your
that's
couch.
true.
Your utilities change.
right.
So I said I'll pay my portion.
No, I
But
mean,
what I
was-
started to notice was that he started getting packages to the crib.
Every day.
Swag. He was getting packages of
Pac
clothes.
Sun.
Pac
Bro, he kept Pac Sun afloat.
Express.
He,
in
I thought
2013.
I thought he was sponsored by Paxson. That's how
Every
much
single
Paxson
day
he was
is a
getting
new
to the
Pac Sun
crib.
package.
It was socks, man, for work, and
It was not
Socks,
socks, bro. It was
bro.
t-shirts.
Yeah.
It was buy one get one. If you buy one get one
Exactly.
every week
This man
for
got
52 weeks,
Honestly,
that's a lot of money.
Let's get
That's a
back
lot
to
of
the point
socks.
because I don't already like the slander. So, Brandon, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because I was talking about how you the ultimate finesser. And you said you lived down here for 7 years since moving to South Florida. How many couches have you stayed on since being in South Florida, bro?
2.
No, it has not. It's definitely been
It's
more than
been
2.
2.
It was,
bro.
I think it was two.
Was it?
It's been 2.
Well, it feels like way more than 2.
when you count the shorties that he was sleeping on in their bed. What's that one girl, the one in the
Oh,
sorority?
here.
I didn't
What's the
sleep.
one? Remember her? You were sleeping on the couch and she
No.
gave you a bed and you was like, all right, I'm gonna just fuck
No,
with her."
because she would invite me over and she liked to cuddle and she had a what do
A
you call
nice
those
ass
nice
bed.
mattresses?
She had the California Kings.
Was,
But
was that the one with the,
the
snacks on the
Tempur-Pedic?
side of the
No,
bed?
no.
So
No,
I,
no.
I was sleeping on the couch. I meet this
Snacks.
shorty, and she has a Tempur-Pedic bed, and she always invites me to spend a night. Of course, I'm gonna spend a night.
Exactly.
No brainer.
Especially when you sleeping on
And
the couch.
sleeping on the
not
couch, she had
comfortable.
Tempur-Pedic.
Exactly.
All right, but that's Phil's introduction. Phil put it on Brandon. Pause. But Brandon, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the world.
Yeah, well, my name's Brandon. You can call me Grizz, though. How I met everybody, I pretty much met AJ and his brother through basketball in high school. And then I started attending FAU and I started hanging out with AJ and them more. Then I walked into their crib and I saw a naked man on the couch. And I got to know him too. His name was Phil. And yeah, like everything they said, packages coming in every day. You know, Phil was a character. So yeah, he was pretty cool. Yeah, they kind of adopted me too. I stayed on the couch sometimes.
Yeah, he would.
Here and there.
He was a commuter going to school. He lived at home
Yeah.
before Lauderdale. The drive to book was like 30 minutes. If he had early class, I was like, bro, you just stay at the crib.
Yeah, especially when we go out, you know, drinking. That drive is not, you don't drink and
Or we're
drive,
playing
guys.
2K or doing some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was cheeks at video games in the house, so Luke would always beat me up, and he would scream at me and say, "You'll never beat me, you'll never beat me," and then I
one
beat
day
him
he
one
did.
day, and then me and Luke became friends at that point.
I had respect for him after that.
I know he's like, I respect you, 1 out of 1,000, I respect you, but it was all good, you know. So that's how we met, and like I said, we met through sports and stuff like that. I was always playing basketball, so yeah. That's pretty much it.
Is one of 2 D1 athletes in the group.
Shh, don't tell nobody that.
But Brandon is also one of the most interesting ones in the group. With all due respect, he's definitely weird. He self admits that.
Yes.
But he's definitely one of the most entertaining to be around. He's never a dull moment with anybody in the group. But with Brandon especially, if we get canceled, if it's not Phil, then it might be Brandon.
Yeah.
More than likely.
That's the backup.
Just let you guys know, I did not try. It just came out that way.
Yeah, Brandon means no harm. He's a big ass teddy bear.
But
That's all.
Phil
He
But
means
I
harm.
do.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, Phil
Phil
low-key
means
made
harm.
me in a heart.
Phil definitely
Phil means
means
harm.
harm.
That's
Yeah.
wild. man. That's actually.
Phil was trying to hurt you guys.
When Phil first moved down here, he was just looking for trouble too.
I was not looking for trouble.
Who can I
When
punch?
Phil moved down here,
He was trying to fight everybody.
This is a great segue. Our introduction to this, but when Phil first moved down here, this motherfucker legit was trying to fight everybody, and me will get to me in a second. Like, I'm super chill, laid back. Growing up, I've been in like no fights really. I mean, I've been in like little fights, but nothing serious. But when Phil moved down here, being from Chicago, and everybody down here has their perception of what Southside Chicago may be, especially with Chief Keef popping at the time.
Yeah.
Phil, this nigga was trying to fight everybody, and his explanation. You want to explain why you was trying to fight everybody?
First of all,
He was trying to gain respect. He was trying to gain
no,
respect.
bro. Listen.
He was trying to gain respect.
So I'm from Chicago, born and raised, but I also grew up in Joliet. So I'm gonna put that out there. I've lived in the city and the suburbs, but when you're from the Midwest, and where I'm from, people die over respect. And when you get to Florida dudes in general are just very disrespectful. So for me, it turned me off because people are like, oh, excuse you. I'm like, yo, fam, you don't know me. I beat your ass. Like, excuse you. I'm like, what? Like, you're not gonna disrespect me. I don't care how big or tall you are. You don't disrespect me. And so the vibe in Florida is naturally very disrespectful. It's not friendly. People don't talk to each other. Like, it's just not inviting. It's not. South Florida does not have an inviting personality. So
which I think we could all agree to.
Yeah.
So coming from the Midwest, where everybody's nice for the most part, even in the bad areas, it throws you off and you get to take offense to it. So I took offense to everything. I'm like, fam, y'all niggas don't know me. Like, I don't like how y'all talk to me.
That's part of it too. I think down here a lot of it is earning respect or earning respect or people getting to know you before. Because down here you don't always know people's intentions and stuff like that. So I think this has been the condition.
But that's the problem. It's hard to get to know people, right? So, for instance, I come down here to go play ball because we all, like I said, we all went to FAU. We all work at Campus Rag, and we all go to the gym. I go to the gym. I don't know nobody in the gym but Zach. People sitting on the side of the wall, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? People just looking at me like I'm crazy. All right, I do that for about a week.
It's Florida, bro. There's a lot of weird people down here.
Bruh, I do that for...
If you come up too friendly, people are like, hold on.
They suspicious. They get suspicious.
That's how I felt when I first met Phil.
Okay, but from the Midwest, that's weird because we got like gang culture and shit. If you go to the gym, you just say what up. It's like a peace treaty. Like, I ain't no shit. I'm gonna just hit a hoop. So I take that personality down to the course. Like, what up, fam? What's up, fam? People look at me crazy. So after about a week, I'm like, all right, man. Well, fuck you too. Because I'm not gonna keep saying what up to you and just you look at me like, man, who is this nigga? Like, I'm not about to do that.
I guess that happened to you, but it wasn't. I don't know. If I say what's up to people at the gym or wherever, that's never an issue. It's like, there's that mutual
They didn't respect your game, bro.
But oh my god.
I mean,
not only that, but
could have been a part of it.
You want to speak into it?
Meeting when you met me through Tasha, or I didn't even know. I remember when I first met you, or like we were sitting down on the basketball court. You were talking to me extra smiley and had third and fourth level questions, and I'm like, I have no clue who you are or whatever. Not that I was like standing off, so I was still talking to you, but still, like I feel like I'm a really personable person. For other people, if they felt not the same way, but if you're like that or approaching at least people down here, then they're going to be not put off or thrown off, but just like, all right, what's going on with this dude? It's kind of weird. It's kind of like too much too soon.
Right. So basically, Phil wasn't getting the respect that he thought he deserved, and people weren't opening up to him. Like in the Midwest, it is true that I think people are a little bit more personable, so they'll talk to you, right away without even knowing who you are. So Phil got here, and they weren't being personable. They weren't kind of opening up to him. And so he decided to take matters into his own hands.
Fuck the world. Fuck the world.
Try to open
they're going out. I wasn't really with them much, but they're going out. And Phil sees some of the football players from FAU getting into some tussling. And Phil's like, all right, if I'm going to earn their respect and I'm going to get them on my side, then I need to join in. So he had no part in the fight at all.
Zero.
No skin in the game.
Someone gets punched and Phil's like, all right, I'm jumping in. Fuck it.
Hey, man, you got to form an alliance. So when you out here dolo, buddy,
Phil really, yeah, that's exactly
I'm
what it
serious.
was.
When
Phil
you-
thought it was jail.
yeah.
How you see in all the movies, it's like, all right, am I gonna rock with the Mexicans? Am I gonna rock with the blacks, the whites? I'm definitely rocking with the football players. That's how Phil treated the situation.
Okay, I used to play high school football, right? And so it's pretty standard. Like when you that football brotherhood is different, right? So I'm trying to make friends, and Zach's pretty much my only friend at AJ at this time. And so I'm like, all right, well, you know,
You thought we were friends, bro. I used to tell you all the time. I didn't like you at first, bro.
I know you thought I was annoying, bro. We was friends. Once you hit a nigga for me, we was friends.
Well, yeah, at that point, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, we
Yeah.
were.
That was, I think that was that before or after the football fight? That was
before.
Well,
before the
yeah,
football fight.
Yeah, that was before.
That was before the football. That was when okay, so another backstory. Me and Zach go to a party, get into some stuff. I end up punching a dude in the face. He ate the punch, which threw me off guard, so I stopped swinging because I was like, oh, I'm about to. I gave him one clean. I thought I knocked him, but he ate it. He dipped me on my shit, and so Zach just comes out of nowhere and blasts him. After that, Zach's my dog. Like,
Yeah.
we're best friends now. That's just how it go. I fought with him for that, and so I took pretty much the same approach to everything. Like if I fight with you, and it worked because after I fought with the football dudes, they gave me respect and was like, yeah, we fought for we don't know them, but we rock with them. And so after that, I started making friends.
Yeah, now I feel best friends with a football player, and he said fuck us. So
Stop it.
definitely worked. Alright, now AJ, you can go ahead
I
and
can do my intro. AJ, I'm pretty.
He's pretty.
He's pretty. Very pretty.
I don't know how to introduce myself. Y'all can go ahead and do it.
AJ is probably the most genuine person.
Most rational thinker.
Yeah, the most
Yes.
rational thinker,
I
most
like
genuine
that.
person.
I
in
like
the group.
genuine for sure. Easily the most genuine person.
He
in the
was like,
group.
I'm the most rational.
Phil irrationally thinks he's the most rational.
I tell everyone that AJ is an angel. He don't smoke, he don't drink, he don't curse, he don't do anything bad. Like if
He don't even speed.
he doesn't.
Yeah, I speed. I sometimes.
AJ is the prototypical person you would want as like if you were a parent, that's what you would want your child to be like is AJ. AJ's been a designated driver countless amount of times for all of us. Has taken care of us, has looked out for all of us.
AJ has adopted me into his family, and I am an honorary Graves.
He's
So
an
yeah.
honorary everything.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
Honorary Jamaican, honorary Grave.
He slid to my
AJ and his family, the Graveses. Oh shit! Should we say his last name?
The Graves is.
The
Cut that out.
Graves.
Cut that out.
He's like,
Cut that out.
Brandon's gonna have to do
Nah.
hella editing.
I'm leaving that in. I'm not editing
Cut
that.
that out.
No.
But yeah, with AJ, love this dude. I feel like we don't have that many crazy stories of AJ because again, he's the most rational one within the group.
And comments,
Yeah.
Mhm.
level-headed.
I mean,
Yeah.
we got some good ones when you talk about him and Young Jules.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of him and Jules. stories.
Yo.
Jules is his brother, but
Hilarious.
when
I'm
it comes to the,
calm, chill, but I'm still kind. I'm probably the second most outgoing.
You're gonna have to
You
move
think?
closer. I
I'm
can't
probably
even
the
hear you.
second
My
most
headphones.
outgoing, maybe.
yeah, I would say you.
But I'll do some.
I think so.
No, I
I'll do
think
some
so.
I
non,
think so.
some not. Not
If-
crazy stuff, but
If we're if we're in
went-
public, who will go up to random people and just start a
Yeah.
random conversation? I think will be Phil and AJ also.
Easily AJ, yeah.
Right. So, and then Brandon and probably me and Zach after that, being as like the most reserved.
Yeah.
But like, if we had to put a title on it, you'd be like the big brother of the group.
Yeah.
Like, you make sure everybody's good.
Yeah.
You keep everybody together. Like you make sure everybody get home safe, stuff like that. So,
Agreed.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
and then when it comes to Luke, he's the pesky little brother that gets on
Annoying
everybody's
as shit.
nerves. Yeah.
Purposely.
Luke is by far the most immature. Like Luke
By
has.
far.
No.
I agree that I am, but I feel like it's
Luke
close.
can be
It's
extremely
close.
mature when it comes to like his passions,
And work.
job,
And
and all that
yeah.
stuff. Like he's extreme, and like he holds us accountable on certain things. But when it just comes to daily life and whatnot, Luke is by far the most
Childish.
immature one.
Childish.
Luke almost tried to kill us last night as I was driving us
Oh
home.
no.
Oh, I did.
From the
He's
restaurant.
He was like, I'm gonna save something for the pod and not tell y'all to the pod. And I was like, Zach, if you don't tell me, I will grab that steering wheel and I'll
And
kill
this
it."
nigga did grab the steering wheel and try to crash me into a whole bunch of other cars. But Luke is pretty entertaining regardless. Luke, if you go out with Luke, just know you're not, one, if you don't drink or don't like tequila, he's gonna force it down your throat.
Pause.
Yeah.
2, you're not coming home.
Yeah. 2, you not going home the time you plan on going home. If you like, I want to go home early. I want to go to a
I'm gonna be home by midnight.
Yeah.
Nah.
Luke gonna keep you out.
8
The
a.m.
club is gonna end at 3. It's gonna close at 3, and we
Luke's
staying.
gonna be greeting people as they
At
leave,
the- we
or
go-
escorting them out.
We're gonna hit the strip club after. Get some tequila shots in our system.
But you're gonna
Chicken
have
wings.
fun though, so
Yeah, for
you're gonna have a
sure.
good time. But that nigga's
For
mad
sure.
annoying. And if y'all go out, just drive.
I appreciate. Yeah, y'all gotta drive separately.
Hey, Phil, you can't say nothing about driving.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
that's
yeah,
something else
you
about
cannot
Phil.
say nothing.
He has the worst luck.
The most accident prone
Yes.
in the group.
That is your true.
No, that's not accident. I'm most prone
Oh,
to
that
get
is-
tickets.
bro, are you-
Accident prone? No.
Accident?
That is-
You totaled your car. 'Cause you needed a new engine in that bitch because you didn't change the oil for
That's
3
not
years.
That's
Phil
not
worked
accurate.
with cars and doesn't know how to handle cars. How you blow your own engine because you didn't get an oil change?
For 3
Yeah, you
years.
work with cars, bro.
Called.
All right, he blew the engine
Oh my
and then he totaled the car afterwards.
Hold on real quick. He had to get an oil change at 30,000 miles. He was at 130,000 miles.
I was actually at like 60, 70.
Bro, that is insane.
That's
Yeah.
You're
wild.
crazy, bro.
It'd be like that sometimes.
He
I
didn't
forget
read the
a lot of shit,
manual.
man.
Not at all.
Again, this is not going to be
Really don't
an
be
episode
like
based
that.
on Phil slander. So let's move this
I feel
along.
like every
Yeah,
episode
every
might
episode
be-
will
There's a
do that.
Phil story for everything.
There really
There's a
is.
Phil story for everything.
We wanted to do
Yeah.
a segment called Philisms because
Yeah.
Phil also has the best and worst advice at the same time.
It's usually the best. If you
So,
Yeah.
so pretty much
It's
what
usually the best.
pretty much what to expect from this pod is going to be a lot of Phil slander, Philisms, which is like Phil philosophies, some lifestyle stuff, relationship stuff, basically just
Everything.
Honestly,
What we-
whatever we're thinking at the
yeah,
time,
exactly what we've been through, kind of our experiences.
probably some entertaining arguments or debates
Yeah,
For sure.
on nonsense.
I
And
mean-
important stuff too.
Obviously, we new to this, but we're going to try to have a consistent schedule for y'all. Like every time we upload the podcast and the video along with it. But just bear with us in the beginning because we all trying to figure out each other's schedules. Also, the group stands on this, if we were to pick one person on who
Damn, I
would
already know
make
it's
this
gonna
will make this podcast not go consistently, who would that one person be? 1, 2, 3.
Phil,
damn.
Hey, Phil, what do you have to say for yourself?
I ain't got shit to say, bro. I'll prove y'all wrong. It's all good.
Because
Again,
but Phil has told us that he gonna be consistent, so
So we believe him.
we
till
gonna
we don't
believe him until he shows us
Right?
otherwise.
We got trust
Next
issues,
week.
but we'll believe him.
listen, man.
we really
I
gonna
am-
believe him?
I'm going to
we'll believe
try.
him until next week.
Y'all don't believe me, but I'm going to try. And,
To try, you hear that?
Yeah, I'm
Bro,
going to try.
don't say try, just
Try.
say do it.
Life is
That's
crazy,
good.
and you can't predict life. So I
Bruh,
don't ever.
no.
If you know me, life is crazy, fam. My life is crazy.
Yeah, well, that's a given though, but you can always like
Well,
just do it.
no, I mean y'all my niggas, so you know I'm saying fuck with y'all, so I'm gonna make it do what it do. That's what I do.
Appreciate
I
that.
got y'all. I got
Appreciate
y'all.
that.
Leave it at that.
I appreciate it.
Can't stand these niggas.
Nah, but every episode not gonna be like this one. Obviously, this is the introductory episode. If you find it boring, we could understand. If you find it entertaining, there's more to come of this. But every episode will, like they said, we'll be talking about whatever comes to mind, the lifestyle stuff.
And we're gonna release this one with a second episode. So if you
Exactly.
do find this one boring, just watch the second one. I think it'll turn your
It'd be
opinion
a lot
around.
better.
Yeah, and honestly, I think one thing that the people viewing will get out of it is that you can feel the relationship between us, right? So if you got a crew, regardless of male or female, and y'all fuck with each other heavy, you'll be able to, you all vibe, y'all can tell that we vibe. And so that's one of the things that we want from this podcast is to show that even though we are different, like these my brothers, so we can share that experience with other people as well.
For sure. But we didn't get into me. I would definitely
That's
say.
usually how it goes too.
I would definitely say, and maybe y'all disagree, but this is how I feel, that I'm kind of a mixture of everyone. I have the responsibility-ness or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and the kind of thought process of AJ. Can think clearly. I have when it comes to
Disrespect.
the passions. And what we're into, I kind of feel like me and Luke on the same page. What we're most passionate about. Phil, we're the oldest of the group. Phil is the oldest. I'm the second oldest. So I feel like
on him being the oldest.
yeah. And we the only two black dudes in like two fully black dudes in the group. But me and Phil at times strongly disagree, but also disagree at times. Brandon being the weird one, I feel like I got some weird in me. Again,
You got some creep in you. I don't know about weird.
Everyone thinks I'm the creep of the
You a
group.
pervert.
They say I got a creep smile.
Hikey.
But nah. They all kind of told the story. We all went to FAU together. Me being the second oldest and Phil being there for grad school. I've been at FAU the longest. Took my ass forever to graduate. I was the first one that started in campus recreation. And then I met, I think, AJ first. We bonded through playing Xbox, playing Call of Duty, which we still do to this day. Then I met Phil, which I talked about. Didn't really like him at first because he was overly friendly, maybe it's the Florida in me, kind of weirds me out. And then I think I met Luke next. I really don't remember our first interaction, and same thing with Brandon. I don't really remember our first interaction, but I mean, now I love these niggas, and now we doing this podcast, and friendship will only continue to grow.
That shit
Feel it in my
beautiful.
heart, bro. I felt it in my heart.
Also, and I mean, we don't have to spend time on everybody, but I think all of us, well, I know all of us in a relationship in some way, shape, or form. I'm the only engaged one. But if y'all have any relationship or questions and need advice from this group, me being in a relationship the longest, everyone else kind of being, Luke's been kind of with his girl for a minute now. If you want to talk about, I don't want to speak on y'all relationship. Brandon being the most recent in a relationship. So,
Yeah,
then Phil being the only other one that lives with their significant other.
Yeah, so Zach, he said he's engaged to Tatiana. They've been together for a minute now, just kind of living together
like 6 years
here,
or something
living
like
together
that.
in Ohio,
Crazy.
and then they moved back together here. Phil and his girl just moved in together. They've been together for like, almost 2 years now?
Something
A year and a half or so.
You know who you ask.
Me and my girl been on and off for a little while. 3 years ago we dated for about 4 months, and then I moved off to Kentucky. Moved back, and like within 3 days we kind of started hanging out and hit it off, and then we got back together. And then Brandon,
I've been in a relationship for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And this
And he's
man's
in
probably
love.
the most
Glorious.
in love out of the
Hey.
entire group.
Bro, he loved his girl more than Zach. And Zach proposed.
For
See the
real.
thing, but what gets me is when I open up Twitter and my dog Brandon has the OOMF, the one of my followers, and he like OOMF is cute. One of my followers is cute. I mean, we already know who he's talking about,
Yeah.
right? But to us, that shit is funny as hell because that's something that I used to do like a minute ago.
You still do, man.
No, the fuck I don't.
Bro, you still the most cake booty out of all
He
of us,
definitely
bro.
is, bro.
I don't know, Brandon.
Yeah,
You
okay.
coming for that tidy.
Cake, we
got
need
it.
to find a cake.
I'm not-
We need to find a definition of cake booty and just put it on
'Cause
the
I-
video for everyone.
Exactly,
to see.
because we'll put something on the video for Cake Booty, but I feel like I'm Cake Booty because I hang out with my girl all the time, and sometimes y'all be like, Luke, you want to hang out? And I'm like, I'm with my girl.
So Luke is the.
No, that's not it.
That's not
bro.
it.
That is-
That's
Okay,
not
it's
all.
not I'm with my girl. It's more like I can't hang out.
But no, that's not why you became and are still running away with the most cake booty.
But I don't tweet about my girl.
It doesn't.
Oh,
It doesn't
wow.
matter, bro.
I don't tweet about my
It don't
girl.
matter about
Good
whether
job,
you're tweeting
man.
about it or not. Like the social media is and everything.
That's true.
You
That's true.
trying to push that cake bootiness on me.
I mean, I'll admit I'm Cake Booty. I love my girl.
yeah, that's
Oh, that
fine.
shit's
Like
beautiful.
there's nothing
Hold
wrong
on.
with being cake booty.
Pause real quick, because the listener's not going to know what cake booty
That's why
means.
I said
Yeah, we gonna put it on the-
definition.
yeah.
Okay, but Phil, you're the one that brought that to the group, right? Cake booty?
Yeah.
You can explain
That,
it.
is that a Chicago thing or is that a Phil thing?
That's a
It's
Phil
not a
thing.
Chicago thing. It's like me and my homeboys back at the crib
Okay.
thing. But cake booty just mean like you a sucker.
Nah, chill.
It
Yeah,
do.
That's not what it means.
No,
That's not what it
that's
means.
exactly what it means.
Niggas getting mad at my
It means
nigga.
you in love.
No,
Yeah,
it-
you
bro,
in-
it
you
doesn't.
sucker.
It don't mean you
bro.
a
Means you a
sucker.
sucker. You can be in
Sucker.
love and be in rational love, right? So what makes Luke cake booty is the fact that he's not rational. So he falls in love and forgets about his homeboy. We be
That
like,
ain't
yo, Luke, let's slide over here. I can't. G, I'm about to go to lunch with my girlfriend. Like, bro, you can't
This
tell her.
man goes on romantic dates every single. I'm a relationship guy. I've been in back to back long term relationships, and I don't go on consistent. I've never seen anybody that goes on
But
dates
that's
every
okay.
single
Bro,
night.
okay.
You go on
Luke's
vacation.
first date, bro. Luke's first date is like the day you would take your girl after 1 year.
Like
Luke's
skydiving.
every single day.
Yeah, which is
Or with an
Which
ocean
is
view.
cool. Like, it's
How
cool
many
stuff.
times have you
But
taken
no,
your girl
you
on
can
a
know her for,
vacation
like-
recently?
No, but the thing is, like for me, if I'm in a relationship, doing things for someone else is kind of how I like
Yeah.
express
That's your
love.
love language.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's your
Right,
But
so-
the thing is,
so-
even when you're not in a relationship,
Okay,
and you're
but
going on
something-
the first date,
But
or second
something,
date.
okay, but something I did for the girl I'm dating now, that I haven't done for anybody else, is like come up with spontaneous things to do. So like,
Oh,
I think
what,
you've done that
3
before.
years ago, it was like,
he was hitting me up saying, "Hey, AJ, what's your
yeah, but 3 years ago, I would literally find 2 things to do, like for that weekend coming up in South Florida, and I would get both tickets for both things, and I'd be like, the week before, I'd be like, okay, these are your 2 options. You got option A or option B. You know, choose one. And to her, that's something that she likes. Like she's like, oh, nobody else ever did that for me. So for me, that's something I just continue to do. So we go on vacations, like we go places, we go on dates. Every weekend is
So cute.
it's our alone time to just be on a date.
Damn.
That is cake booty.
But listen,
But
Yeah,
at
I mean, I don't think
same
Luke
time-
minds, but you set the
know.
bar so high for yourself off
Yeah.
rip, bro.
And
Because you
to-
got to do this for the rest of your life.
That's fine.
and to play on that, I
And that's why I
100%.
say I don't.
But
think he minds.
she's also okay with staying home. Like if we don't do nothing, we just
But
watch
you not
movies.
ever okay with staying home.
Yeah.
But
I
listen,
don't mind it, bro.
But listen, right? So,
Snap.
like Zach said, there's a way to date. You cannot roll out the red carpet on the first date because now you have to roll out the red carpet every
On the
day.
first date, you can.
Yeah,
I don't roll out the red
The
carpet till like
second,
the
third,
date.
fourth date, nah.
This nigga Luke rolls out the red carpet every day, and I'm like,
Exactly.
Luke, scale it down, fam. He's
Exactly.
like, I
Oh,
love
that.
her, G. You know what
Too
I'm saying?
soon.
Shorty
Don't
with this-
do it. Reconsider.
Hey,
Some
and
lyrics.
So
again, there's nothing wrong with being
Bro,
romantic.
she's gonna listen to this and be like, "Hell no! Like, you better keep doing this."
There's and there-
believe
For real.
and there's nothing wrong with being romantic and taking care of your girl, because like I think at this point, if you asked all of our girlfriends, we pretty good boyfriends and we look out for our girls and we treat our girls right.
Yeah.
The problem is that when you start not hanging out with your homeboys because you got a curfew, or you can't go out to lunch because you with your old
You gonna have to
lady,
zoom my face. don't
or
worry.
if you see your old lady 18 weekends in a row, you can't take out one weekend to be with your homeboys. That's
you gotta
Luke.
chill.
That's
Bro, low-key,
toxic.
if we weren't doing this podcast, we might not see him.
That's
Facts.
facts. That's
Yeah.
facts.
That ain't true.
For sure.
He'd be like, I gotta go ref, and then we'd be like, Luke, let's go get lunch. It's right there. Nah, G, I'm gonna go eat with my girlfriend.
Okay,
So-
that happened one time. Dude. That happened one time.
One time recently, but like back in the day,
No.
before her and the other girlfriends, bro, it's been the same thing with every. That's why we say you're the most cake booty, because it's the same thing every time. No matter how
I
long you
don't
know
know
them, no
about
matter
that.
how long you've been with them,
That shit
it's
is
like
all
that.
facts.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
Bro, your first date that you took, I forgot what's her name. Her name was. I'm not gonna mention it. But you were going to concerts every other weekend.
No.
$80
I know you're talking
tickets
about. I
for
know you're
both.
talking about. I
And
know
it's
you're
not
talking
because you love music.
about. That was not. No. Our first date.
People you didn't even listen to.
Our first date, we just went to get food. That was it. I know what you're talking about. We went to go
Okay,
see.
and then
We went
the
to go see
second date
Bad
and the
Bunny.
third date,
We
what
went to go
happened?
see. We went to go see Bad
Bro,
Bunny. on
you
the
went to
third
go
date.
see matter of fact. Ooh.
So we went to go see Bad Bunny on the third date.
Oh, her.
I'm not even gonna talk about that situation because that was a bad situation from the start where you was doing
Oh.
too much.
You
But
gotta stop.
that is an example of being cake booty.
Yes. I remember that. That's
Bro,
crazy.
and when we mean cake booty, Luke is like a wedding cake booty. Like, it's the biggest, most.
There's layers to
you
extravagant
got
this
the
shit.
cake.
finest design on it and everything, man.
As long as my girl loves it.
Honestly,
Yo, he low key said that just for when she listens to it.
Hey, when she listens, she gonna smile at that.
it makes sense why Luke is cake booty though, because Luke is from Canada and his favorite artist is Drake, and
That's true.
So
He's
we talking
very
about
soft.
relationships right now, and this is hot off the press. And my boys know y'all don't know, but prior to this, my girl was mad at me because Luke spent the night and I didn't give him pillowcases. And long story short, she's mad at me. But tell me why Tatiana.
That's his girl's name.
Yeah, Tatiana just texts me. And she never does this ever. She just texts me, "We having sex tonight." And I said, "LOL, huh? You're mad at me." And she said, "I'm happy Trump is not president anymore, so we having sex. You're still annoying though." So just to let y'all know the type of relationship I'm in, babe. I love you, and this is why I proposed to you. But sorry.
This is why, because the box.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I mean, a good random sex text never goes wrong.
Wait, that's the first, and it's funny that is on our first podcast, because that's the first time she's ever texted me some
Let
wild
me
shit.
check my phone.
She must know we're recording.
She must.
Let me check my phone.
My girl don't
Let me
talk
see
to
if
me.
my girl
Yeah,
texts me.
same shit. She don't text me.
You gotta roll out the red carpet for this.
But
Where are you taking her tonight?
She said you better stay at Zach's again tonight.
so we kind of talked about the relationship stuff, but throughout this conversation we've said the most this in the house or the most that in the house. So to kind of give some context, again, we talked about how we all live together, and being roommates, we've always talked about Luke's the most cake booty in the house, Phil's the most illogical in the house. So we were gonna have AJ, because all of us at some point in time have had a different most in the house type nickname, and maybe this will be something that sticks from podcast to podcast. But AJ, if you want to kind of talk about
Everybody's most.
Yeah.
Everybody's most. That's gonna be hard. A lot of times we just it
It's
just
off
comes
the
off.
cuff.
It just,
It's off
it
the
just comes
cuff.
off the top. But
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about Phil being the most.
I'm the most
reckless.
I won't take illogical. I'll accept reckless. I'm the most reckless in the
Reckless?
house. Yes.
Nah.
Nah, I wouldn't call. I wouldn't say. I don't
You
wouldn't
and
call
Brandon,
what you do
and
reckless.
Brandon are close to it.
You
You
it depends on what you're considering reckless.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, your definition of what it is. Luke's definitely the most annoying.
I appreciate
That's
it.
facts.
And
in
cake
the
booty.
house and cake booty.
Yeah.
I
We know
appreciate
that.
it.
Though. We just talked about that 15 minutes. What else?
I mean, I don't know what else I am. It's confirmed that I'm definitely the most annoying.
I
Because
mean, you definitely have the smallest hands in the house.
well, the girl that I'm dating now actually ended it with me 3 years ago because I was too annoying. So that just confirms that I'm
And then
most
she
annoying.
missed
But that's something that I kind of
Luke's annoyingness is also a little bit endearing.
It is.
Depending.
yeah, I love it.
It's
Like,
like,
I love it.
of
I
course
love
You
it.
love it.
like if I annoy you, that means that I fuck with you.
Yeah,
heavy.
I mean,
Phil,
that's like
Phil honestly, Phil's probably the most inconsiderate in the house too.
for real.
But he used to wake us up Saturday morning 8 a.m.
Loud as
phone.
fuck.
shouting on FaceTime.
Loud as fuck. Because again, you lived on the couch. We all had our own rooms.
And he used to be flirting with girls.
Speakerphone every
Talking about he a
Saturday.
gang member.
Just back if someone didn't pick up, he was calling the next person in line. Like, bro, just
what I'd like to talk to my people.
He even
make
tried
sure
to
they
call
straight.
me. I was sleeping in the next room.
I like to talk to my people to make sure they straight.
Yeah, what else?
I think I'm the most honest.
You're the most honest?
I'm
I
pretty
don't know
honest
about
and
that.
transparent.
Yeah, but you like
Nah, I don't know if you're the most honest because you're the most disagreeable for
what's
sure.
and this is gonna sound messed up, but like the kids that are on the spectrum, what's it called?
Autistic?
Yeah,
Yes,
like you
Phil?
autistically honest, bro. Because like they don't have like the social cues and whatnot. So that's what you are. You're like
Yo, I'm just glad I got
autistically-
annoying.
No,
I
I
didn't
don't know.
get that.
Brandon's kind of like
I-
that too, though.
no, I'm not.
No, Brandon can get to that level, but Phil is like that 24/7.
Fam, that's
Brandon's only like that if he wants to be a dickhead to somebody.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to like push their buttons. Yeah.
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 I mean,
Zach's definitely the quietest in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always tell me to speak up. And then when we started this
Say
podcast,
what
they
you
told
just
me to
said.
calm down.
He was screaming
was
like,
yelling.
"All right, the fuck
I
up."
was just making sure my voice carried. That was all.
Nobody ever hears him.
What else is Zach? Where Zach is I think Zach might be the cheapest in the house too.
I
Yeah,
know.
for
I
sure.
think
I've seen
I
Zach
agree with that.
ride around town on E for like 2 weeks.
And he said,
I ain't never seen that in my life.
And he said, "I know my car."
That's facts.
I
So
said, "Bro, your
used to have
gaslight bin. Your gaslight bin. You got 2 gaslights on." The second gas light
They
came
used
on.
to-
Zach's front tire was flat, and he's like, "It's all good." And I'm like, "Bro, what?
that I never did.
Bro, you have done that."
It was probably I probably got it replaced like quickly though. I didn't.
It was
just
like
leave it on
flat. It was
Yeah.
like you need air.
But
And I was
To
like,
save-
I used
to save-
always-
To save money, he started blowing in the tire.
Yeah, a bicycle
That does
pole.
sound like something I would do, but I used to always put $5 in my gas tank because we lived right by campus. It was like a
That's
10-minute walk, so like a car ride was like 2 minutes. So I would always just put $5 in the gas
And it
tank, and
lasted
they would
all week.
always get on me about it. And I mean, I only ran out of gas one time.
And if we go into Miami, he put 15.
Yeah, I thought it was a special occasion. I would splurge. But, nah,
Yes.
I mean, I knew my car, and now I'm making a little bit of money now
Yeah.
as a professional. So
So no more
and
taco
now
sauce
it's
sandwiches.
just 20. Yeah, and that's something else. I used to make taco sauce sandwiches.
Taco Bell taco
Yeah, it
sauce
was Taco
sandwiches.
Bell sauce.
Just bread. He asked me if
The free sauce.
Yeah,
first time
I was being a
ever
good
introduced-
host, a good house host. AJ was staying at my place. I said, AJ, you want a hot sauce sandwich? And AJ politely declined.
Yeah, he didn't even tell me what was going on. He just went in the kitchen. He's like, I'm about to make something to eat.
It was just bread.
I was chilling at his house, or I was staying at his place for the summer. This is the summer before he moved in. And I go in there, and he gets a piece of Wonder Bread.
It wasn't Wonder Bread.
Was it not
I'm
Wonder
always
Bread? It was
healthy,
white
and I
bread.
had no. It was wheat bread.
It was, I
I don't
it
eat
was,
white
I
bread.
think it was.
Own, right? You buy
I
Nature's
think
Own,
it was
right?
like
It
wheat
might have
or
been.
something.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
always eat like multi-grain wheat,
Okay.
whatever. I don't eat
Yeah.
white bread.
Never mind. I guess I was embellishing in my memory, but so he gets whatever a piece of toast, salt, and a bag, a grocery bag of Taco Bell hot sauces,
The free
bro,
ones.
and puts it on the bread and says, "Hey, you want some? Just offer me," because he's being nice. And I was like, "Bro, what are you eating?"
But I
said-
have
he said
variety.
else?
I have variety. I had the green
He had the
packs.
green,
right?
and the
I
orange,
had
mild, he had all of
the
them.
exactly.
He handed to AJ, said Bon Apple Tea.
Oh,
Even
man.
I think he toasted it sometimes too.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up sometimes.
Exactly.
So you the most quiet. What do you got for Grizz?
Quiet, too.
I mean,
Brandon,
now Brandon is the most cake booty in the house.
Oh
He's-
no,
nah,
no,
not
no.
yet. He's in the
Yes,
running.
bro.
I'm
Nah,
not
he's
claiming that title.
he's vying for that top position. He hasn't dethroned.
He
it
trying
yet.
to dethrone me.
And
I'm not
AJ
gonna
and
let
I
him.
kind of disagree on this point because Brandon is cake booty out loud. Like he wants the whole world to know how much he cares
Not
for
that
his
he's-
girl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Brandon is more active. You and Brandon are probably the most active on social.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not that active on
And,
social.
like,
But
Luke
Brandon,
isn't-
I feel like, and I haven't talked to Brandon about this, but I feel like you've gotten more active on social media once you and
Shorty
Alexis-
came into his life.
Yeah, because he was like, all right, she on social, let
It
me
was
be on
eye-opening.
social.
Hey, she made me happy, bro.
On
nothing
Instagram,
wrong with that.
you were pretty active.
He was
on
active
on
on Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter,
Yeah,
Brandon was
Twitter,
active.
Twitter. I'm not
But
active
now
on
Brandon's
Twitter.
on Twitter
I have no clue about
24/7.
that. I don't really.
I'm always like behind the scenes on Twitter. Like
Yeah.
I'm liking stuff and retweeting stuff, but then I started posting
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, you don't mind showing your girl. It's Luke who's hiding his girl from the
Yeah.
world, or
Ain't
the world
nobody
from his
hiding
girl,
his
or
girl.
some shit
In
like that.
Drake fashion. Luke's the most Drake in the house too.
She
Yeah.
just don't want to come out.
As
all
he
the
wears an
time.
OVO shirt.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Zoom
but
in on that.
And
Matt
it-
She just don't want to come out all the time.
she
that's
doesn't
all.
want to come out, but she
Luke is more
knows
cake
me and
booty
Phil
than me.
decently well.
Yeah, but still.
My dogs. My
Oh,
dogs.
God.
So that's the most in the house. That's the going
Oh,
through.
it's-
And
We all do me. I don't
Oh yeah, we
know.
didn't do
He's the
AJ.
most genuine.
Yeah, AJ is definitely the most genuine in
AJ is
the
the-
house.
the most innocent.
logical in
Man,
the
y'all,
house.
all y'all said was I was the most cake booty. That's
That's
crazy.
all.
Nah,
And
wait,
you're the
what else?
loudest.
Brandon-
All I
Brandon
had
is
was
like,
quietest.
You're the
Like,
most
I'm
likely to-
quietest, you loudest.
Nah, you the weirdest in the house.
You're
Yeah,
the
you
most
definitely-
likely to punch a hole in the wall. For sure.
yeah.
Whoa, chill.
Punching the elevator,
Definitely.
punching
No,
holes.
no, no, no. The elevator because of him.
We're at
That was because of him.
That was because of you.
what's that?
That
What's
was
that?
your fault.
What's that bar? What's that bar in Boca on
one?
Thursdays?
Night
What is it?
Owl.
Oh
No,
no,
Blue
no, no, no,
Martini.
Blue Martini.
Blue Martini.
Blue
Oh my
Martini.
gosh,
He,
that was
he,
lit.
he chugs a Henny before we get in. One of the small little Hennies. Chugs it to the
Yeah.
head. Just opened it. And we get in there. 10 minutes ain't passed by. He's punching the wall.
I forgot what song it was.
It was like it
But I was
was something
screaming at
wild.
DJ. I was like, "Turn it off! Turn it off!"
I was hyped.
He was. He was
I don't get mad when I'm drunk. I
No,
get
he
super happy.
he just gets hype. He's not punching the wall trying to break a hole in the wall. He's
Yeah.
just punching the wall because the song he loves came on.
He feels the song.
Right? And
Yeah.
right? So he's feeling the song. But he's punching the hole in the wall and literally people are watching this, like, what's going on? So he's
Actually,
definitely most likely to punch a hole.
I think he's most passionate.
Yeah.
I
They
would say
probably
maybe-
weren't saying what's going on. That's just Brandon.
I think that's a good one. The
For the
most
most part.
passionate
Yeah.
house might be Brandon.
Yeah.
But then y'all left me
He is-
outside, bro.
he's the-
I don't forget that.
No, Jermaine was there for you.
Yeah, well, what was y'all niggas?
No, I was there. I was there too.
He was there. I fell asleep because I was too drunk. I'm sorry.
I went
Boy,
up there to
yeah,
bring
you
you in
did.
the house twice,
I
and
don't
you
recall
told me
that
nah.
He said I'm
I'm
talking
not-
to nature.
That's what he
I was
told
talking to
Jermaine.
the
He's like,
ants.
no. He's like, nah, I'm chilling. I'm like, all right. Went out there a couple times. He just wanted to be outside.
4 o'clock in the morning.
He's the most.
What night was that?
You weren't alive yet.
You weren't
You weren't born yet.
It was
Dog, that was
You
like,
might not have been here. I
that
don't
was-
know.
Yeah, I don't think I
I
recall.
think that was
You
like
might have been out of-
2016.
Nah,
bro.
it was when we lived in behind Whole Foods.
I was there. I lived there.
I
You
know
lived there,
lived
yeah.
there, bro. But you just might not have been there.
Might not have been there that night.
True.
Yeah.
You might have been being like, hey,
So that's.
Big booty, yeah.
I think that's a good place to say, like, that's the introductions for everybody.
Yeah.
Kind
And
of
that's
who we are.
that's
wait,
the
and then I
Oregon
think
in a nutshell.
Brandon might have the most diverse music taste in the house too.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true. I will dispute that.
Okay,
most
we've had this
I
argument
will
before.
dispute that 100%.
But
The most diverse.
But that,
music
yeah,
taste?
but in true fashion, Phil is the most disagreeable in the house.
Yes.
So
But
Yeah,
no,
so that's why you
I
dispute.
think on this cause though, I have a legit argument.
It's just because it's me. He's
This is
disagreeing.
the first time that
No.
I'll say that Phil has legit argument.
This I have a legit argument.
because he'll listen to
I listen to
Afrobeats, he'll
everything.
listen to dancehall,
I
and then
don't.
he'll listen to fucking.
I listen
I
to
don't
Cole.
think
rap
it's
dance
not
hall.
close. I think it's close,
Yeah.
but I think it's Brandon. Then
Well,
Phil
you don't
right
listen to
behind
rock music. I feel like
That's
he
not
listens
true.
to
I listen
rock
to
and
80s
country.
I
He
listen
listens
to
I
a little bit
blues
of.
music.
I listen to 80s rock music and I listen to
You listen to country?
alternative.
You listen to country?
I listen to everything.
He listens to everything.
I don't listen to
I
country.
listen to dance hall. I don't do it a lot, but I do like it.
He listens to
You
everything.
listen to Afro beats?
I listen literally everything, Phil.
Brandon is, in my opinion, has the most diverse music taste
Yeah.
than Phil. Then
And
I'd
I think
say
I'm the
maybe
least.
me.
I'm probably the least.
Do you listen to classical music?
Yes, I have a
Opera?
I have a classical vinyl.
You listen to
I
opera?
have- yes, bro. I have a classical vinyl
Do you
in
know
my
Nessun
collection.
Dorma?
Huh?
Nessun Dorma?
I don't know all those people, but I
Hey, he
listen.
It's
fact
not a
checked him.
person, it's a song, nigga.
He fact checked him.
All right, well, we rest our case.
Luciano
on that.
Pavarotti, my
No,
guy.
No, that's not true because I can give you a song you've never heard of.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, have you ever
I think
heard
all
it?
of us could do that.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's not a valid point.
Except for me.
I could
But when you say the most
Yeah,
diverse in
scary.
music, I all I'm saying is I can give you a good argument or a good run for your money,
I think you could. I'm not saying you can't, but I think I'm more.
and I disagree. And we'll leave it
But
at that.
speaking of
We leave it at
music, and we kind of talked about segments. Again, we're brand new to this. We don't know exactly what the format of every podcast will be, but music is something that we do want to talk about in future episode. In the second episode, we might be talking about like music that we've been listening to throughout the week and what's coming up and whatnot. But we also talked about diverse music taste just now, but I think just as a group, we are an extremely diverse group. I mean, looking at us, it probably looks like two black dudes and a bunch of light-skinned dudes, but it's a
Mexican.
little more than that. So Brandon, you have black, half white, right?
Yeah, I did the ancestry thing, and it says I'm everything in the world. Yeah, it's like European, I got some Asian descent, and yeah, it said like I'm Jewish too, like European Jewish. So, and then Ivory Coast, Africa,
Nice.
and Native American. So I'm literally everything. I can't be racist, I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't
impossible for
think-
you.
Then AJ, he's
I'm
mixed.
mainly black and Puerto Rican. Dad's black, mom's Puerto Rican, and then I have a little bit of everything in there too. Native American. I mean, I didn't do the Ancestry.com, but there's a lot.
And then
I mean,
Phil.
all of us.
Luke.
What are you, Luke? What are you?
Well, I wanted to say
I'm a million
Luke for
at a
last because Luke
Oh.
probably the most.
Well, I'm Black American. Descendants of slaves. That's all I can tell you. I don't know where. I just
Honorary
know.
Jamaican, honorary
Nah,
Asian.
Yeah.
I like the music. I like Jamaican music and
If
culture.
Brandon could, not Brandon, Phil could have chosen, he would have been chosen. He would have chosen to be Jamaican.
That's facts.
That's not
If
true.
he could be born
Or,
again.
or some in Caribbean islands.
Nah, I
Yeah.
genuinely enjoy being
Right.
from America, but I have an appreciation for the Jamaican culture
Mhm.
because I love the music and Bob Marley is my favorite artist of all time, and I just
Right.
think he's a legendary
So
person.
you want
I don't want to be Jamaican. I am happily being. I
You do
love
want to be
being
a
black.
Rasta, though.
Jamaicans?
I have
Yeah,
Rasta
for the
principles.
most part.
I do have Rasta
Phil
Okay.
used to be Rastafari.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to be that.
Phil's bald now.
Okay.
Phil used to have dreads.
Yeah. I'm
Phil
black.
Phil is vegan now.
Yep.
Oh, and we didn't say this about most in the house, but Phil or AJ said he's the most disagreeable in the house, but Phil literally does things to be opposite of all of
everybody
us.
else.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you tell
Even
Phil
if he knows he's wrong.
if you tell Phil he's not going to do something or can't do something, then
Yeah.
he's just going to try to do.
He
Or
just tries. He just tries to be the
He
opposite. Like
just
all
likes to
us
argue.
four.
Phil has
We're
been
just-
slowly killing himself being vegan
Yeah.
because we told him he couldn't be vegan.
I actually have
But then he
not, but anywho. And then what are Zach? You
Yeah, so I obviously am black. I don't say
Look at his eyes. He's
African
like-
African American, but
On
I was born in
second thought.
Suriname, which I'm sure most people don't know. It's in South America, the smallest country in South America, the country right next to Luke's country, which we'll talk about in a second. But again, Suriname, which is also known as Dutch Guyana. So to all my people in Suriname, Fawaka, what's up? But yeah, that's really it. And then Luke, probably the most mixed one in the group.
Yeah, my parents are from Guyana in South America, but my dad is Portuguese and Indian, and then my mom is black, white, and Chinese, and her ancestors are from Barbados, so they came from Barbados to Guyana, and so I got a mix of I think
Where were you born?
about 5-6 things. But I was born in Toronto, Canada, and then moved to Guyana for a little bit, and then moved to Florida. So I've been in Florida for a little while now.
Now he loves Kentucky. He wants to move back
You
to
gotta chill.
Kentucky. But now we got a diverse five hoopers as well. So anybody watching this that think they got a nice five that could hoop would take that squad any day. AJ and Brandon carrying the squad.
Phil, if your brother's watching this, he knows what happened last time. He put his 4 friends against us 5,
We
and
made it look
Real
easy.
quick, so we didn't like discuss this prior, but I think it'd be interesting. But if we were to compare each person in the group to an NBA player, so the people have kind of
Oh, dear.
an idea of what the group is kind of like. So
I can kind of go around a little bit.
okay,
Phil, I would say is Bruce Bowen.
I'm Ray Allen.
Phil is
Oh,
Bruce
hell
Bowen.
no, you're not Ray Allen.
I would say Bruce Bowen because, well, the bald head. But he's also a specialist. He would sit in the
Yes.
corner and shoot threes.
and he's
Cat-
a
he's a-
3-and-D.
A 3-and-D, a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. We don't want him to put the ball on the floor too
No.
much because we gonna turn it over if he put the ball on the
You
floor.
may or may not accidentally make a layup.
May or
No,
may
bro.
not.
If I'm on, my layup
Bruce,
package has
I
go. My layup
don't remember
package goes
Bruce
up.
Bowen
Yeah,
ever
layup-
taking it to the hole.
Phil's been better at
My
layups.
layups. I've
Phil-
improved my layups.
Phil plays defense with his head.
It doesn't matter. I play defense. I
But
hustle.
Bruce
I do all
Bowen's
the
a
dirty
defense.
work.
Bruce Bowen was a
He's
defense
scrappy.
specialist and a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. So
Honestly, Phil is probably. I just thought a perfect.
Sean Elliott.
No, I'm not even thinking about basketball players.
Oh.
The perfect comp for him is probably Scrappy Dude.
Yeah,
Scrappy dude.
Because definitely got like feisty. Let me at him. A little bit short.
Hey, relax.
all right.
Run around pretty quick.
If I had to pick Zach, I would say he does a little bit of everything. Can slash to the basket. Definitely a mid-range shooter over a 3-point shooter. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Sean Livingston.
No, Zach
Okay.
is. The
I do like Kobe. I do
Zach
like
is
Kobe.
the mama.
But Kobe
He's
can
just-
shoot threes.
Yeah.
Kobe
So,
can shoot threes.
Kobe is my idol, and as much as I model my game after him, I think for me, I'm not mad at that. I mean, Sean Livingston,
A great
he-
mid-range
yeah,
scorer.
he's so I love his game
A
because
good
his
defensive
game's just
player.
like
A
me.
good defensive player.
He's obviously a better ball handler than me. I mean, obviously he's in the league. I think if I were to pick a player for myself, it'd probably be Rip Hamilton. Just always
I can
working
see
off
that
wall
too.
screens, hitting mid range. Not the best 3-point shooter in the world, but never gets tired. Ray Allen's another guy like that, but he's obviously a great 3-point shooter, which in high school I was. Now not even close. But continue.
Yeah. Brandon is the most athletic easily. Also, probably between him and AJ, probably the best 3-point shooters. I mean, they're the best hoopers in the group. Obviously, they both were on FAU's basketball team. But Brandon does really everything.
As much as I hate this player,
Bullies.
and it will probably be brought up every podcast,
Oh, no.
I fuck LeBron, even though I'm a Lakers fan.
He takes over like LeBron.
But Brandon is probably LeBron, just big ass dude that probably should be playing football, playing basketball. Everybody gets out his way and just dunking on niggas.
I can agree with
Then you
that.
got
The
AJ.
glory days.
And AJ to me is post game is immaculate.
AJ's like LaMarcus Aldridge.
AJ's like Zach Randolph.
What?
No, I
You said
think
Marc Gasol?
No,
No-
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh,
No,
LaMarcus Aldridge.
no disrespect to AJ, because AJ is fairly athletic, but Jokic, I think
that's a good comparison because AJ could stretch the floor and hit a three, but he also has the post game
yeah.
to pivot off either
Footwork.
foot.
When I was younger, I used to be more guard. I mean, I could do
Yeah.
all that with footwork and
Well,
stuff.
with
but
FAU, you used to say that you used to practice
I
with
used to
the
have to practice
bigs,
with the bigs, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I started playing more.
right? Post game.
And AJ's not a
Immaculate.
big guy, but he plays like a big.
I mean, he's got the lower body of a
Yeah.
big.
And then Luke, what will we say?
A trash Tony Parker.
What will we say?
Oh my god.
No,
Ryan
I was-
Scalabrine.
I would say
True.
Who dribbles a lot for no reason
I was gonna say Russ, but he's not like Russell Westbrook at all.
because he's not as athletic.
Yeah, doesn't have the
Who
mid
just
range.
holds the
I'm
ball? and dribble, dribble,
Carlos
dribble.
I
Arroyo.
got Austin Rivers.
Nah. Yeah.
I can see Austin Rivers.
Honestly, I don't even know who to compare Luke
JJ
Standard.
Tony
Barea?
Parker or Carlos Arroyo.
But no, because Tony Parker is a pass first player. The only time you're gonna pass first is if you know you have an off game.
That's why I think Austin Rivers.
I can see Austin Rivers too.
Yeah,
A scary ass Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers is pretty scary.
Luke used to be
He
live,
is,
but
he is,
Luke
he is.
just completely lost confidence in his game.
Yeah, I
Me
stopped
and Luke
playing.
don't hoop as much as we used to because of work, but I
Well,
still
none of us do
think.
because of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pandemic. But
But I think R5 is willing to take any 5 out there. So,
I like that.
Just let me put my Chuck T's on. I'm good.
but I know right now I got to piss like a motherfucker.
I
don't know.
appreciate y'all listening to the
Yeah, I gotta
pod, to
go
the first
really bad.
episode. If you thought it was boring as shit, I mean, we were all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you thought it was boring as shit, please just watch the second one.
But now you are 1 second or 1 episode closer to knowing who the org is and what we stand for.